Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Ranjan, and today I am diving deep into one of the most powerful tools ever in the configuring cloud infrastructure, and that is Terraform. Whether you are new to Terraform or looking to expand your knowledge on the Terraform, so this video will surely help you to understand Terraform history or features or advantage or implementation or how we can use with cloud providers, whether it be Azure or AWS. So let's get started without wasting any further time. So let's start from the history, how it started, when it started. So Terraform was created by HashiCorp in 2014, and initially it was started as an open source project. And then with the passage of the time, it gained popularity, and they have launched as a enterprise version as well. It's received strong community support and contribution. Due to this, it gained popularity with the time. So next topic is like what is Terraform and why we should use Terraform. So first of all, we should understand like what is Terraform. So it is a tool which is known as IAC tool, that is infrastructure as a code. So basically whenever we create a infrastructure, we use like traditionally we use a graphical user interface, like we just click, we create, next. But now like every organization is following IAC approach, that is infrastructure as a code. They will just write a code and they will just execute it, and it will create the infrastructure in the Azure or AWS. So what do we mean by infrastructure? So that is basically a resource like virtual network, subnet, NSG, or like firewall policies, or any web app, or any SQL database server. So it will just, we have to write a code and we will execute it, and it will create a resource in the Azure or in AWS. So, and it is very simple, it is not that complicated. It is just like a value equal to key, value equal to key. So it is that simple. So basically prior to Terraform we were using a ARM template. So this is a proprietary thing in the Azure cloud, and after that they have introduced a bicep. So it is a much simpler than the ARM template, but still it is a proprietary. If you are learning biceps, so you will be able to execute in the Azure environment only. And similarly we have CFT, that is cloud formation template in AWS. So still CFT is a proprietary to AWS only. But if you are learning Terraform, you can execute a infrastructure in any environment, whether it is a cloud or on premises. So basically it is allowing users to define or provision data center infrastructure using a very high level configuration, not a low level that only machine can understand. Like it is very easy to understand, easy to execute. And what language it use, that is HCL, HashiCorp computer language. You can imagine like you are just writing a code and it is building and managing your cloud infrastructure. And what makes it unique, like it maintains a state. So basically in state file, whatever the Terraform has created will be stored in the state. So with it, any point of time we can retrieve the data from the state and create a that infrastructure again in case of disaster recovery. Suppose like some disaster happened in your organization and everything gets deleted, so all you have to just retrieve the state file and you have to execute that code again, and it will create again the same infrastructure. And it is not a configuration tool, it is just a infrastructure creation tool. And it has some providers or modules, or you can say add-ons, for which we have to install on the Terraform. So basically it supports 34 cloud platforms including GCP, Azure, AWS, and all is supported by HashiCorp. HashiCorp is maintaining that repository or maintaining that code. And apart from the cloud, it has other 353 providers as well, including like Palo Alto, Checkpoint, and Cisco. And apart from that, it has some community providers module as well, which are open source. Like anyone can contribute to this open source module. Earlier if you see, like the coding part is getting done by the DevOps team. If you will see like from 2 to 3 years back, so this thing was getting done by DevOps team. So dev, like development and operations. So basically they are executing a code, and once they execute a code, so it will automatically deploy to the production environment. But now like this thing is getting done by the network engineers and the cloud engineer. Like if you will go to any position for a network engineer in the cloud, so they will ask you whether you know Terraform or not, because Terraform is the only thing by which you can create the Azure infrastructure. Suppose if you have to create 1,000 servers, 1,000 is a very big number, let's take example 100 servers. If you have to create 100 servers or 100 VMs in the Azure, if you will do one by one, So you have to go to like create virtual machine, you have to select hard disk, you have to select virtual network, you have to give a password. Each and every time you have to do this thing 100 times. But in Terraform you just have to write a script once, and even it's not like that you have to write, you just have to copy from the Terraform website. So they're providing a very good documentation. You can just extract the code from there, and you have to just run in your environment, and you have to define that I have to create 100 servers in these location, and it will execute that script within minutes. So it is like very fast, and it will save your time, and it will avoid error as human error as well. So like as I told you, like if you don't have the Terraform, so first you will create the dev environment, and these are all separated. Then you will deploy it to the QA, then you will have to stage the environment, and then you will deploy this thing production. And even case in disaster recovery, you have to create everything from the scratch. And suppose like it's not a very big infrastructure, so it will take 5 days, this thing will also take 5 days, so total will it will take 25 days. But if suppose you have Terraform, then all you have to do, there would be only one admin who will check in the code to the GitHub repository. So basically GitHub repository is a repository, or is a storage who stores code. So basically it is a VCS as well, VCS version control system. Whenever you are executing any code or you are committing any code in the GitHub, so it maintains the version. You can think of a just a code repository. So it stores code, so it has private and public code, so you can store in either way. And once you have committed the code in the GitHub, so it will trigger Terraform run. So everything will be executed on the Terraform cloud. So I will explain these things in the further slides. So how you can execute the Terraform, whether you want to execute in the Terraform cloud, or even you can execute this thing in the GitHub as well. So don't get confused, I will be covering these things. So it will execute the script on the dev, QA, staging, production, disaster recovery, because you have created a template in the dev. So it's one time work only. After that you just have to reuse the templates in the Q environment. Same in the staging, production, and disaster recovery. All you have to change the variables only, and that is very simple. So Terraform is a multi-cloud support, so it supports all clouds. So all you have to install the add-ons. So it has like you can use for AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, and even the Oracle, many clouds. Its ecosystem is well mature now. So it has many modules which are created by the HashiCorp. So all you have to just download and use those resources, and it will save your time, because each and every time you don't need to write the code for each and everything, so you don't need to repeat. So it has a dry code. And state management, that I've already covered, but I will tell you, like it maintains a state file, and in state file each and everything is stored, that what are the resources that are created in your environment by the Terraform. This thing makes very easy to track changes and manage infrastructure in case of disaster recovery. So it supports plan and apply. So like when you run the Terraform, it will plan like what are the resources that I have to create in your infrastructure. And once you verify, so you have to run Terraform apply. Once you run the command Terraform apply, it will start to create resources in the Terraform. So even prior to placing the apply command in the, you can check like what are the resources you need to create in the plan state. So workspace is a very wonderful features. By using this you can create multiple environment like development, staging, and production with separate configuration and state files. So that means you can create multiple state file on the basis of on the environment that you have, and it helps like keeping our infrastructure isolated and organized. So it ease the management. So this thing is useful for management the different environments. So how can use Terraform with Azure? So literally like we can create each and everything in the Azure. Like we can create VM, virtual machine, even storage account, network interfaces, and many more things across multiple Azure subscription. And even we can define and deploy Azure infrastructure, and we can connect Terraform to services like Azure Active Directory. It has a integration feature. We can integrate Azure Key Vault, Azure DevOps, which is used to create a pipelines. And in the backend, Terraform uses ARM templates only. If we use Azure ARM templates directly, so it will create a lot of complication for us. So but in case of Terraform, it uses ARM templates in the backend for Azure deployments. Terraform is also very useful in terms of policy compliance. Like we can create security policies. if any Azure resources would be created in the environment, so it will adhere to those policies. So it is also useful in maintaining the organization standards and the best practices of the Azure. So as I told you, like we can use Terraform in another cloud provider as well. Like in AWS, we can create EC2 instances. EC2 is just like a VM only, which we call VM in Azure. So here in AWS, it is EC2 substance, and S3 EC2 instance, and S3 bucket is just like a storage, and even other AWS resources. Similar with GCP, we can deploy a compute engine instance. So it is just like a VM or EC2. So we can create storage and more, and even DigitalOcean we can create droplets. Droplets is also like a VM and EC2 in AWS. So it can create networks and configure storage, and even it supports Oracle Cloud and VMware and other cloud as well. So Terraform supports each and every cloud. So what are the advantages? Most of the advantages I have already covered, but still I will show you. So first is efficiency. When you will be creating infrastructure using a code, so obviously there will be less chances of the human error, so it will increase the efficiency. And consistency, so it will help to maintain the standards across the Azure infrastructure, because if we have the defined one template, so every resources would be created according to that template only. It will also help to maintain the version control, because whatever the code we will write, we will be saving into the GitHub, and GitHub already supports VCS version control system. And scalability is also supported by Terraform, so it become very easy to manage and scale our infrastructure whenever we require. So it supports on-demand scaling, and it's fasten the deployment of the new application that we are deploying using Terraform, because it will be taking a less time, because it will use the existing templates and we don't need to create a template from the scratch. And last feature that I can say, the extensibility. We can manage each and everything in the Terraform, you starting from the VMs to DNS to software as a service integration. So it supports each and everything. Next thing would be integration of the Terraform. How can we integrate Terraform with the repositories, like where we will be saving the code and where we will be running the Terraform, because Terraform is just like a software, or you can as a tool. So obviously we have to install it, we have to run on some system. So what would be that system? So first thing, you can run Terraform in our laptop, or you can say desktop, but it is not recommended in the production environment, because if you will run in the laptop and the desktop, so it would be a single point of failure. And suppose you have a team of 10 persons, so they cannot run Terraform in their system. We can run in, but for testing only. But whenever we have to run in the production, so first option would be the GitHub Action. So GitHub Action is a feature of the GitHub. So basically it is a part of CI/CD pipelines. So we will create a pipeline. So whenever anyone will commit the code in the GitHub, it will execute the GitHub Actions, that is a workflow file. So we will define a runner, and it will use the GitHub runner. So runner will be a small agent. So on that agent, it will execute the Terraform commands. So that is I will show you in the next video, so how we can use GitHub Action to execute the Terraform command. So first option is this, and second is Terraform Cloud. So basically it is a cloud version of Terraform. In that case, you don't need to install anything on your laptop. So I will be showing you this as well. And third, I have already covered that on PC and laptop. And fourth option is Jenkins. So we can integrate Terraform into CI/CD pipelines using a Jenkins. So what it will do, like whenever anyone will commit, so commit means like publishing the changes in your code repository. So whenever anyone will commit the code in the GitHub, so it will execute a Jenkins file. So Jenkins is also like a agent or a machine. So there would be a server on which you have installed Jenkins, and in Jenkins, so Terraform would be installed. So Terraform commands will be run on the Jenkins agent, and then that Terraform will execute the infrastructure as per your desired code. So now be ready for the tools that we will be needing for the further videos. So first you have to create a Azure free tier account. So it is completely free, but for just verification they will use credit card or debit card. Earlier they were asking credit card only, but now they are allowing to debit card as well. So it will not charge anything, it will charge just 2 rupees only, and they will also return, and even they will return that 2 rupees as well. But if you are signing up for Azure free tier account, don't upgrade it. If you will upgrade it, and by mistakenly if you have left any VM open or running, so it will deduct a charge from your debit card. You can do one thing, so you just have a one saving account and just maintain 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees only in that account, so that will ensure you that they will not charge you anything in that case, even if you turn any VM on for a long time. So I will show you like how you can avoid these unwanted charges, but it is required because if you learn Terraform and you are not practicing anything, so you will forget one day. So just have your account created as your account, and then Terraform cloud account you need to create. It's a completely free. It will not ask you any credit card. I will post that link. I will show you how you can create the Terraform cloud account. Another is GitHub account. So you have to create a account in the GitHub, and Visual Code Studio, it is optional. You can still install it. So I will cover this thing as well. And even if you want to try in your office laptop, it would work. Still, I will ask you to try on your personal laptop, but still if you don't have the personal laptop, you can try all these things in your office laptop. So this is a GitHub website. All you have to open the github.com, and you have to create sign up. You have to create your personal email ID, and you have to continue. Okay, then Terraform, search the Terraform on the Google. You have to open the first link. It will show you try HCP Terraform. You have to click on try HCP Terraform. So all you have to connect with the HCP account, or then you have to do with the sign in with GitHub. Once you have created an account on GitHub, then you have to do this thing. So it will ask you the GitHub credential. So once you will enter your GitHub credential, it will allow you to sign in. Okay, in Terraform you have to open this docs link, how to install the things on the Azure. I will be covering in further videos. You can like follow the documentation, what is Terraform, how we can install it. So you can skip this part because we will not install in laptop because it is not required, but you can go with this thing, build infrastructure. So these are the prerequisite. Like first we will install the Azure CLI. So it is not mandatory, but if you have the personal laptop, you can install Azure CLI tool. If we don't have the Azure CLI installed, we can do this thing from the Azure portal website. So browser based, so nothing you need to worry. So I will show you how the Terraform is providing that much documentation or code. So all you have to click on the registry, and once you will click on the registry, you have to select Azure AI Services Terraform provider. So once you click on this, so it will show you each and everything how to write a code. You don't need to write a code, basically you just need to copy and you have to change some variables. So I will show you very basic example. All we have to go to network. So once you to go to network, you will see like virtual network. So here it is, virtual network, and this is the code that you have to copy and paste. I will be explaining this code, what this code is saying in next videos. So it is that simple. You have to create a peering, you have to copy this code. You have to create a virtual WAN, you have to copy this code. So each and everything from the like DNS or any software as a service, Azure service, each and everything is there. And in case of Palo Alto, I will show you. So all you have to search Palo Alto. So here it is, Panos, and here you can go to this source code. So it will open a GitHub link, and each and everything is saved here. Address object, spyware, antivirus security profile, certificate import. So each and everything is there. So all you just have to go to and open the code. So you have to copy this code and run that code in the Terraform environment. So it is that simple. So let me sum up the whole video. So basically Terraform is a very powerful tool that can simplify or standardize, or you can say streamline our cloud infrastructure management. So, and it is not for any specific cloud. We can use for Azure, AWS, or any other provider. So it is very flexible, it is very scalable, and it has a strong community support. Like even the HashiCorp is itself providing a coding for all the cloud providers, and it has beautiful integration system. We can integrate with any CI and CD pipelines. So thank you for watching this video, and if you found this video really helpful, don't forget to like, share or subscribe, and comment me your doubts, or just post me a thumbs up in the comment section. Your such gesture will motivate me to create and upload more videos, and even YouTube will promote this video. If you have any suggestion, they are most welcome. You can drop your suggestion in the comments, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.